Hey, what's up guys? T-Dacy back with another World of Tanks review. Today we're going to be going over the Tier 7 American light tank, the M41 Walker Bulldog. Now, many of you guys may say M41 Walker Bulldog, that was a nice historical tank that was pretty much an upgrade to the Chaffee. And as follows in the tech tree here, if we go to the added tanks in the 9.3 update, you can see that the American tech tree for the extended light tank line, it starts on the Chaffee, which was rebalanced, and it goes up to the T37, which I had reviewed a couple days ago. I should have that uploaded already. You guys should definitely check that out, as it is a precursor video to this M41 Bulldog, and we'll go over the T37 in that video too. So, as follows, the M41 is obviously the next tank after the T37, which after you research that 76, you just need around 50, a little bit over 50k, yeah, 56.3 research points, and then you can get the M41 Bulldog. Now, the Bulldog, before I get into this review, is really one of my favorite light tanks in the game. I mean, it's up comparable to the 1390, and obviously tops off the T71 by a long shot, in my opinion. And that is all due to its auto-loading cannon. And I'll get on with that now in the review. Okay, so the one thing I really want to stress in this review is that the auto-loading cannon is so goddamn good. I mean, a lot of people actually use the other cannon that's pretty much the same exact thing, just a straight shot version. But in my opinion, the autoloader is just so detrimental to enemy light tanks and also enemy mediums, as you can pretty much outclip any tank that has less than 1,000 hit points up to around 1,500. Assuming that you pen every shot. So now that we take a look at the two guns first before anything. They're both 76mm cannons, and they're pretty much the same exact thing. The in-game model is a little different for each one. I believe in this patch, the auto-loading cannon has one less degree of gun depression at around -9 as opposed to -10 degrees. But the thing about that is they are changing that in 9.4 because of a difficult time with the HD model. For some odd reason, it just, I guess it glitched out and you get less gun depression with the autoloader, but that doesn't seem to be much of an issue, especially when you're playing with the auto-loading cannon, just the playstyle comes with it. So if we go over I guess we'll go over the straight shotgun first, which is just the one shot at a time, obviously, which is the last thing you need to research before the derp cannon on the T49. So here we go. Obviously, as stated, it's a 76mm, which is the same as the T37 and Chaffee. However, its rate of fire is significantly increased to 17.14 rounds per minute. On top of that, it has pretty much the same exact stats as the T71's cannon, at 175 base penetration with AP, 210 with heat, and 38 with HE. Now, as stated, that 175mm of penetration with the AP that I said is actually an APCR round. So you are going to have that higher shell velocity and capability for sniping a bit more with this cannon. Now, that's the same thing on the autoloader, but you can see that on the autoloader, the dispersion on the tank at its overall accuracy is 0.4 as opposed to the straight shot, which is 0.38. Now, I don't find much of an issue with either of them. However, the aim time on the straight shot is also a little better at 1.9 seconds. Now, onto the autoloader. The autoloader has the same exact stats for penetration and rounds, same alpha at 150, but the aim time and dispersion are a little bit longer. However, it is so minuscule that it does not make much of a difference at all. Now, the actual specifics of the autoloader here, we have a 32-second outer clip reload and 2-second intraclip reload, which is of 10 shells. So you're going to be firing every 32 seconds. You're going to have a clip up, and then with each shell in between each shot, it takes 2 seconds to reload that. So it's arguably one of the most overpowered Tier 7 light tank cannons in the game due to that 10 round. And I mean, the 10 rounds in a canister just fast firing at another enemy light tank, that's just that's absurd. So we have like I said, 32-second stock reload outside of the drum. So once you unload those 10 shots, you're gonna have to get the hell out of dodge and hopefully retreat into a position that is safe for that amount of time. Now, what I find with this tank is that with vents and hopefully better crew skills than mine, you can get that down to around like 27, 28 seconds. Also, if you run a consumable instead of a fire extinguisher, you can get that down to around 25. So this tank really just has such a great gun, and also its mobility is one of the best things about it. So we'll go over that next, and then we'll type out some stuff on the armor, and then we'll check out what to run on it and pretty much get some nice gameplay next. Okay, so this thing's mobility is amazing. I mean, it's pretty much comparable to the Hellcat before it got reworked, and the pickup and go is comparable to any other light tank, such as a WZ-132 or a 131, even better than the Type 62. So this thing gets up to its top speed of 72 kilometers an hour right away. I mean, there's hardly any terrain resistance on this thing that makes it sluggish at all. Its overall engine power at 550 has a good power to weight ratio because it only weighs 25 tons, which is a little less than the Wheezies and the Type 62s here. Now the Type 62 obviously is a little bit less because it does not have the upgraded cannon. But it's pretty much obviously just going to be a light tank, so there's no armor whatsoever on it. 25 millimeters at best. You're going to get overmatched in the front by many tanks that you see. Now with its Tier 7 light tank matchmaking, you are going to get 8 through 10, so you may not see Tier 10s every time, but you're going to be facing them quite a lot, so you're going to have to keep that in mind. Now, obviously, with this thing being such a fast tank, I compared it to the Hellcat previously. However, this thing turns on a dime. It has 72 kilometers speed limit, and then a 56 degree per second traverse speed. So pretty much while you're going at that 72, you can do a quick 180 and get the hell out of there before they can even, shoot and reload half the time. So that's another plus. Along with that, we went over armor. Turret traverse speed is 50 degrees per second, which is a definite plus up from many light tanks. It has a really fast turning turret, and the dispersion is not that much at all. So the auto-loading cannon you can pretty much use to your advantage whenever you want. It has negative 9 degrees of gun depression with this gun, if I checked correctly, and it has 400 base view range. So then again, it is a tier 7 light tank, so it should have a little bit extended view range, and that's another plus for this. So in combination with the equipment that I like to run, you can outspot your enemies and pretty much mow them down with this autoloader before they can even detect you. Now signal range, obviously standard, it's going to be tier 10 because it is a nice light tank, and we can really just go over the engine here, which is not too bad. It's actually quite a good engine. I'm trying to see, it is on the T49 and T69, so if you already have those researched, you should have this engine on this tank too. So that's definitely a plus too, because it shares the modules with the medium line. Other things to note is pretty much just the playstyle. It's obviously going to be a sloppy seconds, passive scout. You can active scout because it is fast, however you are a little bit bigger and taller than many scout tanks in the game. It's almost like a medium here. It's definitely a really good, capable passive scout. The equipment I like to run on it, I guess we'll just get this out of the way, is a camo net, a vent, and obviously something for vision. Now, you can run coated optics, but I find myself passive scouting and sniping a lot, so I do like to run binocs as a plus there while stationary. So other things to note, if you want to be an active, definitely get rid of the camo net and add on a vert stab, because that's one of the best things to have with an auto loader like this, so you make sure that you hit all 10 of your shots. Now that's really it for this. Next we'll have some crew skills, also the module research, what line or approach to take on that. Alright, so for the M41 Walker Bulldog's research approach, you really just want to get the guns, and that's really the thing that highlights this tank and makes it really good. So you're going to have, obviously, hopefully you'll have this radio from previous tanks. If you've gone up and gotten either the E5 or the 57, you'll have them. You would assume. And then also the engine you should have if you have either gotten the M44 artillery or the T69. So if you have gone up the American Arty or the American medium line into the 57, that is, you should have this engine. If you don't, I would suggest getting the tracks before anything, because that traverse speed, and obviously you need it to mount everything else, is going to be a mandatory for research. So get the tracks first, and then second I'd say engine. You can skip the radio if you don't already have it. You should already have it to begin with, and then you want to go ahead and get the guns. So the gun that is workable but not the best is the second one, And then obviously that's the straight shot gun, so you have a little bit less rate of fire and more dispersion than the upgraded straight shot gun, but then you want to get the clip loader. So the auto loading gun is what I went over before, and that's pretty much what you're going to want to be aiming at after you get everything here. And then you're going to want to get the turret. So the turret is obviously meh, it's a light tank, but it does have upgraded view range, so that's a plus. So that's pretty much that for this. Next we'll have crew skills, and then we'll get some nice gameplay. Okay, so crew skills are pretty much the same exact crew, obviously, that you've had from your grind previously. Just if you haven't watched my previous videos, I'll definitely go over them instead anyway. So the commander, obviously, you guys want to have camo on all your crew, which is the one thing that makes a light tank borderline OP, is because it keeps its camo on the move. So if you have a camo skill, that's going to be amazing. So obviously get camo first, and then what I like to do is I like to retrain. I have 97% on 6th Sense because I accidentally dismissed my old commander. I think I said that in the last video, but I've pretty much gotten him up to speed anyway. So I'm just keeping the 6th Sense because it's not worth spending the gold when he really only has like probably 14, 15 more battles until he gets that full. So 6th Sense and camo obviously, and then retrain for the skills that are on the move shooting, so snapshot, smooth ride, and then safe stowage, because you do have an autoloader. You don't want to get ammo racked and have to wait a minute and a half to reload. So after that, you know, to get camo again because you have retrained, and then obviously you can get some other skills. Trying to think, Deadeye may be a good perk to have because you have a 10-round autoloading clip, so was that 30% more chance to deal module damage within the clip. Have repairs, which is another viable option. Obviously on the driver, you're going to have a really good time with all those skills. You can get clutch braking, preventative maintenance if you really want to. Off-road driving is definitely a good one. I'm probably going to get off-road driving next. And then after that, really, all you need to do is load up some shells here and some consumables. So shells, obviously it's a 76mm, so HE, especially in a clip, is just not worth it at all. You can get a lot of APCR rounds because they're standard. You can definitely buy those for cheap, 270 a shot with 10, so whatever that is. And then I only like to run one clip of heat because if you look here, this is only for one shell times 10. So pretty much their heat rounds are really expensive, and if you don't mind the credit sink, obviously you can run a lot of heat, but I still prefer APCR rounds to heat. You know, even if the pen's a little bit less, because they're way faster in shell velocity and they're just more accurate. They can shoot through destructible buildings, in my opinion. They're just better overall, so, you know, that's that. So 60-10, you might actually want to go 40-20. Right now I'm going 60-10 or whatever the hell that is, 40-30, but except that, and consumables are the standard, you know, small repair kit, small first aid kit, and automatic fire extinguisher. You can run a Coca-Cola if you really want to. I should have a lot of those in the depot, apparently not. I guess I sold them. And that's pretty much it for this. We'll show you guys how good the replay is next. It was submitted by one of the people in Reddit, Vrekar, and he is actually in currently first place for my contest, which if you guys haven't checked out is going to be in the description. So that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for the replay, and happy tanking so far. Alright guys, so this gameplay I have for the Walker Bulldog review is really one of the best replays I've seen in a while. And it's actually, I believe, yeah, I think it's in first place for the replay contest that I have, which, if you guys haven't heard about that, the highest base XP that you submit from any of your replays on the North American server will be awarded gold from me. The top 3 guys get awards, which is gold, as I just stated. And yeah, Vrekar gets about, I think, 1900 base XP, a little bit over that in this game, so let's check it out. So it's a tier 10 game, Bulldog, you know, tier 8 matchmaking as a norm from the tier 8 on up to tier 10, and he has got a tier 10 game here. According to XVM, pretty good matchmaker turnout. The platoon on the other team with the IS-3s and KV-4 absolutely terabad, and it looks like he is going on a scout run east. The Bulldog with the 30-second reload really isn't that bad, in my opinion. I mean, I love the stock... well, not stock, but the straight shotgun on this, but the autoloader really makes this tank, especially for sniping and counter scouting. Just the DPS and scare factor really makes it a whopping, you know, grind. It's not really a painful grind at all. as I'm doing this right now. It's probably one of the most favorable grinds I've had in a while, too. So Vrek is in the bush here at F8, and no one's come through the spot yet. I'm going to zoom out and hopefully be able to... There we go. Spot's an STA. He's got the passive scout here, which is obviously exactly what you want to do in this tank. And you can see here that he's got amazing camo, probably camo crew, because he does not have camo net. But once he fires, he's going to get spotted. So he's going to do all the spotting, make sure everyone comes in, and let his friends over here, as the E100s, T-34 Ferdinand, and a couple other guys come in to play. So his STI is getting shot in the butt, and Vrek's doing a great job just making sure he doesn't get himself spotted. And that's pretty much all you have to do in this tank. So if we check out over here, looks like they're coming onto the flank, and once a few of these guys die, Vrek's going to be able to get right into their face and flank, especially once these E100s get everyone to shoot and you know, absorb bulk of the damage. So Vrek doesn't get much spotting damage there because of the team being idiots and not taking advantage of it. So he's probably going to go ahead and hopefully eventually get into these guys from these sides. Now this STI, by standing here, he knows he's spotted and he doesn't know what's spotting him. So Vrek is going to take advantage of that in a little bit. So really just play the waiting game with this tank. I mean, it's one of the best passive scouts in the game. It does have 390 base view range, especially combined with like coated optics or binocs. It's really good. E100 just took a beating and really also gets team shotted by, I think, artillery. So Vrek's doing, like I said, a great job passive scouting, but only 3 people have died. So he might be able to snipe out a couple guys across the map without getting himself spotted, which he's going to start doing his KV4. So gets a nice shot in the drive wheel, side of the tank, gets spotted from the STI, and he's going to go ahead and pull back. Gets hit in the track by a T-57 shooting heat. Not a good idea in the 57 there. And he's able to pull back, and he does burn his repair kit, but that's obviously going to be worth it in the long run. 57 is up. Vrek's still got 8 shots left in the clip. However, the 57 is behind a rock, and Vrek really should go on the offense here if he wants to get his damage, but we'll see late in the game, and obviously from the outlook of this replay that he does get that. So he's got perfect shots, 57. That one did land. He's got 2. That one may have gone through. He decides to clip, and I would agree with that right there, because he can just pretty much sit up here in his perch like he's been doing and outspot the enemy at the same time while clipping. And he doesn't want to expose himself too much to the enemy team to make sure of that, but you know, this 30 seconds really goes by pretty quickly, especially when you're just spotting. I mean, you don't want to fire, so why not clip? Once he's up, hopefully he'll be able to go ambush this STI, hopefully the IS-3 maybe too. But there you see the STI's turret is just so impenetrable for this tank. So he's either going to have to get in the close quarters, or he's going to let the damage walk away from him. But the 110, by looks of it, is hopefully going to get some flank shots, but this flank is actually not looking too well because of that 704. However, Vrek has nice shots at this 57. There's a nice aim time on this tank, and he'll hopefully be able to shoot him a couple of times more. T-49 ambushing the 110 does spot Vrek, so Vrek's going to go in. Especially, this is where that autoloader comes into play. He does get shot once, but if he was not shot by that 110, Vrek would be able to clip him out pretty easily before the T-49 would reload. And that's why, the exact reason right there why I like running the autoloader on this tank. And it really, you can run the straight shot. It's, you know, it's not a bad choice. It's just 2 separate play styles, and my play style and obviously Vrek's reflect the autoloader. So Vrek does a great job resetting his camo. Doesn't want to lose any HP, because that'd be the stupidest thing to do here for any player. And Vrek is a good player, so he's obviously going to make sure he doesn't lose HP and snipe out this IS-3. However, he's getting shots on the non-penetral parts of the IS-3, as now the IS-3 is, for some odd reason, angling, and Vrek has perfect shots at him. So rip IS-3. Vrek has one more shot. Hopefully he'll get a high roll, which he does. Now he's going to have to go ahead and clip and retreat as the same time as the 704 and STI come up that ridge. So the one thing that I can criticize about this team is that those E100s died way too early. And Vrek had told me about that when I was talking to him in TS, is that the E100s really made Vrek work early, work hard earlier in the game. because those E100s just, oh my god, they got wrecked. I don't know whether it was from artillery, whether it was from STI, but they really should have lived longer, especially with the platoon. I think they're platooned, yeah. So, rip to them. So this eastern flank is outgunned, obviously. You got Vrekar versus 2 tier 9 tanks. And the Proto's got cross shots, but he's probably going to get ripped from the E3, so this is not looking good at all. We do have to protect Artie as long as we can. 261 killed the T-28 Proto, and this is not looking well by any means. I mean, Vrek's got a full clip. He maybe can clip out 1 or 2 of these guys. Maybe both of them, possibly. Not sure. But by look of it, on XVM, we have the STI at 915, so no, he's not going to be able to clip both of them. 704 is at 235 when he was last spotted. So if you see the in-game win 8 counter, Vrek's got 2400 win 8 here with 1100 damage. He's got a nice bush to spot from. GW is yelling at him, but he doesn't realize that he is spotting. If he goes out any further, he's going to get spotted by 704 or the STI, and he's going to get himself killed. Exactly, I am. Exactly what I was saying. So Vrek, he's doing the right thing here, and just GW is just a tomato, so I'm not going to listen to him, obviously. 2-6 win on the enemy team. Kudos to him, doing really good. Obviously from Cazadores, being a pretty good clan there. He wants Top Gun. Don't give it to him. So he's going to have to work for that. Vrekar is going to have to spot here. AC is going to have to not die, and Artie's going to have to not die too. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up just for time's sake. Hopefully we can get some views over here. I don't really have the free camera mod right now, but anyway, the AC-48 does get ripped. Artie fires at the E3, and oh god, STI max camo plus nerf. So Vrek gets 2 no damage pens, 3rd non-damage pen. 704 is not traversing fast enough. I believe he has a dead driver. So Vrek's going to be able to kill him, and this is really, like I said, the clip autoloader, just so good for this tank. 704 had a dead driver, you could tell right off the bat there. Vrek is taking advantage of that. Gets a no damage pen on, or bounce on the STI. It's lower plate, and there's no way he's going to pen him from the front. So he does get the track there, and that's big. So Vrek is hopefully gonna get a shot into this guy's. Nope, not on the turret. He's going for the ammo rack. Gets a nice pen, and thank you, Artie. So Artie finally shoots the STI shotgun mode, and Vrek's loader does die. He repairs that, and now for the clip. He's got to reset his camo, which he's doing in the process. He's a light tank, so we'll keep that on the move, and he's going to be able to get all the way, hopefully down the 1 line, and come up behind this pack of TDs. Hopefully he'll get some Artie, and there is a nice spot on the E3. However, the GW is loading. So Vrek's loading too, and he's up to 3.7k win 8 at 1.5k damage. A little bit above that. So that's a nice engagement there with the 704. He says lucky bastard, but at the same time, I don't get why that 704 didn't shoot Vrek, but he was pretty mangled by the looks of it. He obviously had a dead driver. He wasn't traversing at all. But here's the Proto. Vrek's got some nice hard cover here. You might be able to just blow right past them. There we go. Get some other cover. T-28 can't traverse his turret fast enough. E3's way out of the picture. Artie's the only thing that could save this Proto. Once Vrek gets a shot from here, he's shooting HE. No clue why. This is going to be an easy kill. So Vrek does the right thing. Artie splashes him, gets the track, and that's just going to seal the deal for this T-28. Without that full turret, he's just taking it like a man. Rip T-28. Great engagement there. With the help from Artie, obviously go ahead and clip. Vrek has 10 shells left in his APCR canister and 30 heat shells, so he's going to have to clip hopefully before he spots the Artie, because the worst thing you could do is toy with an Artie and let him live longer. But that E3 is closing in on our Artie, so he's got 9 seconds before his reload. Hopefully he'll be able to shotgun that E3. That's really what I'm concerned with right now, is the Artie dying to that E3, because Vrek, if he kills this Artie, is really going to have to work to kill that E3 because he is at range. So hopefully that Artie, nope, can't kill the E3, which means that there's going to be a cat and mouse play towards the end of this game. And you know, normally these replays I don't watch beforehand, and I actually haven't here, but I did hear about the replay, so that's why I picked it. Easy kill here on the Artie. Definitely destroy him. Hopefully we can clip heat now. Not sure if Vrek. There we go. Enemy E3 is being an idiot and capping the base. I'm saying he's being an idiot by giving away his position. Instead of just perching himself on the, on the ridge there, he's going to let... well, at the same time, I guess there could be a cap fest here. So, Vrek's going to go back, obviously. So, actually, I apologize to that E3. He's not that stupid. He's not a complete idiot by capping, but he does know that Vrek is going to have time to get back. And by that, there's a lot of cover there, so Vrek can definitely ambush him easily. But at the same time, I guess the E3 is concerned that Vrek would start capping after he killed the artillery. So this can be hopefully a relatively swift engagement here. Vrek does track himself off the cliff there, and it's pretty comical little comedy action here. If you check out his win 8 in the counter, up 8.5k at 2.6k damage, he's got 5 kills. And once he kills this E3, hopefully it will be GG. He does have 39 seconds, and I believe he's running coded optics because he was spotting very well in the beginning of the game. So if he comes up this hill over here on the right, he's probably going to spot him at range without being spotted himself, and the E3 will get boned. So Vrek closes in. 22 seconds, 20 seconds, 19 seconds, and really got to hurry up here. But Vrek obviously is just going to have to get one shot for the reset, stop and take that shot easily. There we go, we have the flank of the E3, you can actually take it on the move as we get the bounce. We got 6 seconds left, destroy a track, there we go, hurt the module. Now we have free reign over this E3. Now we cannot one-clip him, so we're going to have to tow with him a little bit. STI knows the deal is sealed, and Vrek is going to have very, very easy kills here for this E3. The heat rounds are real. Oh man, I feel so bad for this E3. Vrek is obviously going to have to clip here. We'll fast forward through this madness of the E3 trying to save himself, which obviously is not going to happen. E3 could use that house to kind of traverse, but nope. Vrek's reload is too quick for that. And there's the force off cap. Now the game's over. So Vrek has 3 more shots until his E3 is dead. Surprised he hasn't caught on fire yet. And GG. Now, very nice game by Vrek there. Win 8 counter goes at 1900 or 19,000 win 8. Wow. And I believe he actually got more than that because that win 8 counter counts damage more than kills, and he did get 6 kills. So the formula has changed since the the in-game win 8 counter up there. He did hit a few shots on that T-57 blind too, if I recall. So we'll check out the after battle ports next. There'll be screenshots of that, and just a really solid game here by Vrek. Very fortunate to have this for the M41 Walker Bulldog review. And hopefully I could get a gameplay that'll stack up to it. Probably not going to happen. So we might have one more gameplay. Stay tuned for that. And look at the after battle reports. Check out his mastery tanker and everything. Hopefully we'll have one more good replay like I said. And stay tuned for that. Okay, so in conclusion, the Walker Bulldog is one of my favorite light tanks in the game. At tier 7, it's definitely a capable tank. It can aid towards all those late game battles, and especially if you live throughout the whole game, you can really rack up the win 8 and get your team a victory. So what to expect obviously is a passive scout type of late game cleanup type tank, and obviously you want to be shooting in the rear and back of tanks, never face a tank front on. You can't rely on your armor because it is a light tank, however your view range and mobility are really what shines along with the auto-loading gun. With that, I give this tank a 9 out of 10 just because it's a light tank, so it is going to be quite a harsh, grind if you are not patient at all. So that's one thing I really forgot to mention is you need to be patient in this tank, and if you're not a patient player, light tanks are not for you. So other than that, that's really what wraps up this review. Obviously we'll probably have the T49 review within this week or maybe the next because I'm already, let's see, around a quarter of the way there. So I may ditch a free XP on this because I do have a lot of gold from that Fury package, and maybe we can have some subscriber replays sent in for maybe the T49 or something by then, but we'll see. Just stay tuned guys for that, and comment, rate, subscribe. Happy tanking, hope you enjoyed the review.